Misrepresenting the facts. That's what Sandals Resort said yesterday's report on ABC Network did in suggesting that the hotel group tried to cover up allegations of sexual harassment at its Ocho Rios resort property. Sandals hit back at the report in a release to the media. TVJ's Kirk Wright has the details in this primetime news follow-up.
Sandals, through a press release, says yesterday's report on ABC's Good Morning America about the allegation of sexual assault of a guest at its Ocho Rios property is misleading because ABC left out details about the case. Details which the release says Sandals won't mention because of pending litigation. The release says there are several missing pieces of information from Melissa Blayton's story, the guest who claimed she was sexually harassed last year at its Ocho Rios property. Missing, Sandals says, are her interactions with resort team members, her request regarding law enforcement involvement, and her subsequent requests of the resort after her departure. The release says Sandals was surprised to have heard about Miss Blayton's allegations since it has been in contact with her since she left the resort. Sandals says Miss Blayton has also signaled her intention to visit one of its resorts next year. After reports of an alleged rape of a guest at a Jamaican resort surfaced over a month ago, the tourism minister Edmund Bartlett says he ordered a security audit of all resorts in Jamaica.
We are committed as a destination to always protect the rights of all our visitors. We are committed as a destination to ensure that the privacy of person is always preserved and that the right to say no is always at primacy. We are committed to make sure that any infringement of these sacred ethical arrangements will be dealt with swiftly and summarily.
Mr. Bartlett says the results of the security review will be made public in the interest of transparency. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
And a Sandals Bahamas butler accused of molesting a bride in her sleep claims he gave the woman a good night hug in accordance with her request. Moral Adderley allegedly snuck into the hotel suite where Ashley Reed Pascarella and her husband Jeffrey Pascarella had been staying the night before the couple's destination wedding in April 2016. Mr. Adderley pleaded guilty to indecent assault a week after the incident. However, in a recent interview on Eyewitness News Bahamas with Clint Watson, Mr. Adderley said he pleaded guilty to dodge jail time.
3 months into my marriage, my father had passed away around the same time. Wow. He was cremated by mistake at the Princess Margaret Hospital. So his funeral would have been that Saturday, wow, which I initially explained to the judge. And she could not have given me bail, even if she wanted to.
So you would have missed your father's funeral?
I would have missed his funeral. I asked if I would to change my plea, what would happen? She said it would go on my record and I would have to pay a fine to the Crown, which my family told me not to. Basically, like I told my family, when my father passed away, I didn't have the opportunity to see him on his dying bed. So my next chance to make peace with him would have been the funeral.
The New Jersey couple is suing Sandals Resorts for $30 million. The wife claims she woke up to find Mr. Adderley next to her with his hands down her pants. However, Mr. Adderley has since denied the allegations. He says Mr. Pascarella told him to take a few bottles of water to the room and place them on the bed.
She was awake, and I asked her if she was happy about getting married the following day, which she replied she did. Before leaving the room, I asked Mrs. Reed, can I take a breakfast order? Or would she like to place a breakfast order, which they did every night before one of the butlers left. She did place a breakfast order, and as I completed to take a breakfast order, she said, "Moral, you're the best. Can I have a hug before you leave?"
She asked you for a hug?
Most definitely.
Where was her fiancé at this time?
He was in the
bathroom?
In the bathroom area. You know, when I flopped her, hugged her, he walked out. And when he walked out, I said, Mr. Reed, would you like to place a breakfast order as well? He said, sure.
Mr. Adderley, who is accused of sexually molesting an American tourist.